there. This is Raising the Cane with the Kane. Whoa. It's been a while since we had the entire ensemble. I'm Michael, and who are you two people?
I am Sandra Morales Kane. Welcome. It's a pleasure to be back.
And I'm Maurice Kane, aka Captain Liberty. And
Okay.
I wanted Dr. Strange to conceal my identity, but the spell didn't work. And all my universes are coming.
Yeah. So anyway, it's good to have the ensemble together again. It's our final podcast. That's right. For the 2021, and so we want to kick it off by saying, let's say goodbye to 2021. So let's talk about reflections of this year, the good, bad, and the ugly, hopefully more good than ugly, or challenging things, you want to call it that way. So anyone want to kick that off? Any positive things, challenging, or?
Well, I want to condemn the recent killing of the endangered Malayan tiger at the Naples Zoo in Florida, which happened after a clueless, moronic employee of an independent contractor who was present on the premises for doing his custodial work decided that he would stick his arm into the tiger's enclosure, attempting to pet it. And because the tiger did not cotton to that, decided to attack the man and inflicted severe injuries on his arm. And then some sheriff's deputy intervened and fatally shot the tiger instead of shooting the man and going off after the man's parents for raising such a fool. So that's not ending the year on a positive note for captive big cats.
And in endangers.
Exactly. And that's so different than probably the righteous shooting, perhaps, of the killer squirrel in North Wales in the United Kingdom. Over a 48-hour period of terror, attack squirrel went after 18 different people. So it seems to me like you see a little animal coming with red fiery homicide in his eyes, you would kind of run, go back home.
Yeah.
Well, because he's so small, it doesn't look like, you can kick him like a football if you had to. And so, like, not like, what is that, Rocky and Bullwinkle? He's not a sentient being. So I'm sure they felt, I'll get the upper hand on this little bee if he cops on me. So I wouldn't. I don't think I would run unless I was with a little kid or something, or a little animal or something.
If you're with a little kid, you push the kid towards the squirrel, then you escape.
Yeah.
Oh, Maurice.
Maurice. Well, thank you.
But and to add to that, I think that there should be some sort of consequences to people that they don't know, their boundaries, especially when you have a wild animal in the zoo that it's supposed to be free, but it is caged, and killing it. On top of that, I don't think it was the animal's fault. Is the human who has reasoning capability to understand that they have to be boundaries. So I think that there should be something that protects the animal. We are human beings. Remove that animal from the wild, and we should have some sort of consequences for not respecting the animal's boundaries. So, I truly believe on that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It seems like, I don't know if it happens every year, but considering worldwide, maybe it does, and they just don't report it. But it happens regular enough every year, every other year at least, when Raising the Cane, this is our name, Raising Cane, raising awareness. So if some of you think we're overly harsh on people, people that demonstrate being idiots to the nth degree, we're going to be rough on them, because it's an idiot. You're an idiot if you're at a zoo and you hop over the fence in a lion's den. You're an idiot. You're just a
Right.
pure stupid idiot. I don't know if
You're
that's a
certified.
yeah. It's like what do you think was going to happen? Like Sandra said, these are wild animals, and
Yeah.
guess what? Just because you enclose them in a cage, they're still wild,
Yeah.
and they're still wild. They still have their native instinct. And if they saw
Mhm.
us passing them by in the forest or in the desert, the Sahara, whatever, they would eat us. As simple
Yes.
as that. They would come and get us and eat you. So what made you think hopping inside a tiger's, a lion's, a elephant, or whatever animal of choice, an alligator? I saw a thing the other day. These people, guy put his head inside of a crocodile, and what do you do? Just kill the crocodile for being a crocodile?
That's
And
crazy.
you're just an idiot if you do that. And I don't think the animals should be killed if it initiated from someone doing something stupid. Now,
Mhm.
if they hopped over the barrier to where we are, please, before it mauls us to death, I hope a sheriff deputy would shoot it at that point. But it's just something's wrong with this.
Mhm.
Just wrong
Yeah.
with it. So
And for the listeners out there who subscribe to our YouTube or listen avidly to the podcast, if you fit the definition of idiot or moron, we're not addressing you. It's the other idiots and morons that we're talking about. So don't be offended. Keep listening, and subsidize our lavish lifestyles. Because as you know, I'm appearing on location from the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco.
yeah, and it's still light outside, even though it's 7:30 p.m. So yes, and in fact, part of the Golden Gate Bridge just disappeared for a moment. So I don't. It's David Copperfield's the cousin here,
It's
but
too late by
so
now.
it's a yeah. So thank you. So beyond the scope of the tiger, let's talk about the greater scope of the topic, which is reflection on 2021 and some highlights to use. So let's just hit it kind of in like sort of bullet points. Uh, what, for example, let me kick it off. Uh, are this podcast? We started this podcast in summer of 2021. So that's a good thing. And I love the topics. I wanted to go over some of the topics, and we encourage you, whether you agree with us or not, on this tiger incident, tiger versus man. Um, you know, we do we're not just going to just say something light and fluffy. We're raising, it's in our name. It's who we are, raising the
Exactly.
cane.
Truth in
And so
advertising.
and so we can agree to agree and agree to disagree, but we still throw it out there. And so some of our podcasts, uh, we've been all over the place, and so where you can learn and get our take on things. Uh, on my way to the prenup, or should you do a prenuptial agreement? You have power, online dating, 48 laws of power, call to action. Even we critique the jungle. What is that? The Jungle Book, the Jungle Cruise,
Cruise. Tom
Mhm.
Cruise.
and rent versus buy. Does money make you happy? Did you know the Battle of Lepanto? And Maurice had a popular. We haven't done it in a while, but we're going to do more of this in 2022. About did you know? So Maurice, he's our historian, resident historian. So we can do these podcasts more frequently now. We're using Zoom and other means to communicate with you. So to do just little 60-second or 2-minute, did you know about something? And
Like
so
today is Bacon Day.
Mhm.
yeah, so um another thing, how to start $1 million investment club was good. I wish we got better traction on that. I thought we'd have more listeners, and people are still discovering us, so it's still going on. We're still gaining traction around the world, which is great. I believe we're on 6 continents. Thank you very much to all of you. Uh,
Yes.
Yay.
yeah,
And
where
I
go
think
ahead.
that the other exciting thing is that more of Latin American countries are joining
Mhm.
us. And muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Bienvenidos y esperamos que continúen apoyándonos. Raising the Cane va a continuar en haciendo podcasts en español. So, bienvenidos.
Bienvenido.
Gracias. Bienvenido. Bienvenido. Hola.
Hola. We are your amigos.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, others more serious. I did one on suicide.
Yes.
You know, so we do serious and we do lighthearted, like our chimps a-holes. We that was good. People seem to like that, and I know some of you, so we're fair and balanced. See, we're not just telling you what you want to hear, because then
Exactly.
we wouldn't be doing this.
In point of fact, regarding the chimps story, we received some great feedback from the orangutans and gorillas that completely agree with our assessment about their fellow primates. Because I think all of us, and I would include even people from New Jersey with this, the Garden State, that you recognize an asshole when you see one.
Oh wow, he actually said it. Okay, now at this point, I was just saying a-hole, but
The FBI is taking me away. Oh no!
now
I'm gone.
now this is
No,
not
no.
this episode is, now I have to do a disclaimer, isn't for kids, and it is marked for adults only into the editing phase, so it won't be edited out, just as adults. And a lot of our things is we don't want 5-8-year-olds listening to stuff. So if you have an 5 years old, please, why do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway.
So you should know better anyway, but we're going to tell you, just sign them off. And for any of you teenagers, well, we know you're going to sneak and listen to it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But there's still, if anyone under 18, this is not for you. Need to log out and go somewhere else, and mom and daddy watch some cartoons, Bugs Bunny or something. But
well, maybe do some like an honest chore for your parents now and then, because many of you are probably deadbeats and don't contribute too much to the household. So why not get away from that video game or your gang banging and mow a lawn, maybe wash some dishes, do some homework.
You just heard it for a great motivator. Yay. Yeah. That's why we put Maurice in San Francisco way.
I'm an egg.
Just can't.
Let me come home. Can I come home, please?
No, you got to stay up there. And the people from San Francisco said
He's
they
grounded.
want you. The people from San Francisco are just emailing us now. Get him out of the city. Get him out of the city.
I should be at an undisclosed location, but I'm in front of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Maurice's views doesn't necessarily reflect Sandra and I's views. We got to separate. So I believe the teenagers of the world are just like adults, and they, you have some doing what they should be doing and some that doing what they shouldn't be doing. So let's not blanket all of them. So this is where Raising the Canes bumps heads. So not all of them are doing what they're supposed to do, and they know they're not. And some are doing exactly what they need to do to get ahead, and some are on the fence. So if you are on the fence, okay, Monday I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, Tuesday they're not. So you have to decide what kind of life you want, and that's what we're here there to share our opinions. We don't know everything, but we're gonna give you our opinion. We do. Everyone has an opinion. Mm-hmm. So what Mari said, I have to put an asterisk to that. It just depends. It just depends.
Actually, I was so amazed at the amount of young kids that are becoming millionaires. With the new, with the NFTs, with the entrepreneurship and the ability to do it over the internet. It's increasingly amazing to see 12-year-olds being millionaires. So, the ability of doing something is there. You
Mhm.
just have to be remove fear. But yeah, to all of those individuals, young, the young generation that is out there in the workplace and entrepreneurship, congratulations and continue to do so.
Amen.
Yes, we highly encourage today's youth. So if you're lost and wondering what to do, it's understandable in the midst of all the mass communication and the chaos. And there's negative role models out there. They may have the money and all this stuff, but you know what? It takes more being a decent human being than just having money. Uh,
Yes.
going, it does. Just money just means you have money. That's all. It just means you have more
Mhm.
of it. And so if you're not doing, if let me just be frank with you. Sorry, Frank. We use your name a lot.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Check yourself.
if you're just bad inherently, you're just bad person generally. You're gonna just do a lot of more bad stuff with your money. And if you're inherently a good person, you're gonna do some good stuff with your money. and
Yes.
and so I don't believe too much in that gray area. Well, he's sort of good, sort of bad. No, you're bad. If you have 1 ounce of bad doing something, you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
What
And
about
so
the anti-hero?
don't make the excuses. They're bad until they do something good. So
Although I want to
you know,
say, everyone in this world has, is not perfect. We all
no,
make mistakes.
no,
The the ability to get up, to learn the lessons, that's what you need to do.
right.
No
Exactly.
one in this world is perfect. We are learning
Hmm.
until the day we die.
Right.
So if you feel that you're disadvantaged either because you're in a dysfunctional family, I gotta tell you, 100% of the families have some dysfunction.
All of them.
So,
Most of them.
don't. The message I think here is that do not grab the negative. Look forward. Look on people. The majority of people that have money or that are successful is because they never gave up and they invested into their success. So
Yeah.
if you are a young kid that feels that have not have the opportunity, you make it. Open your path as long as you believe in yourself. There's
That's
gotta be somebody's gonna believe in you.
That's a great
So
message.
you
Great
need to make
message.
sure
great.
to do that. So nobody's perfect. If you have a
Right.
little ounce of bad that it says, that's a judgment. But it's in you to change that because nobody else is gonna do it for you.
No,
We have to do it ourselves.
that's right. And the point is,
Great
just don't.
message.
The point is do what Sandra gave you hints. And our point was just don't make excuses to stay where you're at, and you could do something about it. And you can always email som@raisingthekane.com. You need some help on that, whoever you are, whatever age you are, just shoot us an email, and we can give you some one-on-one advice and some tips. Okay. But
Definitely.
Definitely.
we walk this talk. So the main thing is just admit I need to improve, and you get a plan and get some help to make a plan. Just don't stay where you're at and in guilt or just hopelessness. So
Mm,
just that, if no other message you take, just that there's always hope. But we want you to do hope with action, because just hoping and praying without any action is not going to do too much good. So
right.
you know
It's true.
and so just take action. And if you need to know what
Hmm.
actions, some ideas, we can help you at Raising the Cane.
That's right. That's
Definitely.
guaranteed.
Okay. And
Or your
so
money back.
okay, Marius, we're gonna put you in what's north of, of the,
So you were saying that all what we were reviewing is what we have done
right.
in the past year. And I think that one of the most important things that I love is the series that you did uh, about Napoleon Hills. That's an excellent motivational
Mhm.
path for everyone to listen and to follow, to read the book. Is highly motivational and thinking about what we should do, like we were talking about the youth, that podcast will be one that you need to listen to, and
Oh,
I would like to endorse it.
Oh, thank
yes.
you. And
Mhm.
thank you. Wow. Thank you. And so what
Oh,
Sandra's referring to is the law of success that I
Mhm.
kicked off, and I think 3 installments so far. It's probably going to end up being 12 to 15, maybe even 20 installments. It's going to be over the next several weeks to months for our, for to conclude it. But good news with the podcast, you can always go back. As long as you
Yes.
indeed,
download it, you have it
indeed.
forever. So the Law of Success uh, was written, the 21st edition, and it was originally written in 1927 by Napoleon Hill, who learned a whole lot from Andrew Carnegie, excuse me. And so he was a steel baron at the time, one of the wealthiest people in the world. And so he introduced Napoleon Hill to successful people. And
Mhm.
Napoleon Hill just took it exponential, interviewed and categorized and did research and all of that. And now we have his huge 1100 page plus Bible on how you too can be successful no matter wherever you start, no matter who you are, broken up families or orphan or whatever your situation is. Him and other people, excellent books are out there, several excellent books. And I'm going to do other book series as well. But Napoleon Hill is going to take a while because it's a very thick book and a whole lot to say. And
Yeah.
so, and just in closing, as far as this, what I do is just like I did with what we did with the 48 laws of power is I use the literal text and then decipher it and make it, give my interpretation and opinion and my experience based on what I'm reading. So it's just not reading a book saying do it. It's a background and supportive uh, behind this as far as when you listen to these podcasts. And so, but if you have a question, som@raisingthekane.com, and we'll answer whatever questions you
And there are many pathways that individuals can take in integrating the theories and the practice and
Mhm.
applying it to their own preferences and objectives in life. And that we often hear about the 4-year program at a university or college, and that is often suitable for a large swath of the population. But as long as we live in homes, whether they're single family houses, apartments, condos, townhouses, or operate businesses in brick and mortar or steel and asphalt or glass, there's going to be a need for people who understand and can repair and maintain systems such as electricity,
Mhm.
uh, hydraulics, water,
Mhm.
drywall,
have.
the various physical elements and sources of energy. So people who don't necessarily want to go Ivy League, Pac-12, ACC, SEC, community college, or other academic routes can proceed with trade and vocational schools, apprenticeship programs, acquire experience on their own. And there's always going to be a need for the trades,
Yes.
uh, whether it's 50 years from now, a century, or longer, if we continue to exist as a nation, a civilization, or a species. I think that's something that many people who may not necessarily have the
I
patience
mean,
or the proclivity to sit in class for any number of hours over weeks, months, and years. That's something they need to hear too, that their value and their skills
mhm.
are important and
Yes.
can lead them to a comfortable life and take care of themselves and their families and contribute to their houses of worship or to community organizations and charities they believe in, so that you're not necessarily eking out a hand to mouth
Mm-hmm.
existence or
Mm-hmm.
confronted with the pathology of homelessness or poverty. You can apply your knowledge and your intelligence in other ways.
That's good.
Definitely.
So
Mm-hmm.
so we're definitely going to draw upon a lot of our episodes from 2021. It's I believe this is 51 at this point. So we
Not that
started
many.
we started essentially August 1st, I think July 31st, something like that, August 1st. So and so we had, yeah, it's been good. And so what we're going to do moving forward in 2022 to kick this part off, well, okay, what about 2022? With our podcast, we're going to do more of how you can be successful. And there'll be different shades of that. It's not about, now you could go, you'll see on a lot of YouTube channels, okay, they're focused, okay, crypto, and that's fine. Or real estate, and that's fine too. We believe in all of that. But where do we stand? Where's our position in the great communication world out there? Is motivational success,
Mm-hmm.
um, give you tips on how to move forward with things, and so and transformational. Okay,
Exactly.
that's where we are in this. And so we'll talk about money. We're going to do more about how to make money, but not just for money's sake. And those are other YouTube channels for that. And so, and just to entertain you, we're here to entertain, but to provide and share our experience and our information. But we're not going to be sitting here going over stock charts with you, candlestick charts with you, pie charts, and all of that with you. Those are other channels. But we will talk about behind that, which will get you into action. Okay,
And
because
perhaps recommend some of the ones
yes,
that we
yeah,
that we liked.
yes. And so
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna, just like with the book series, we'll probably see if there's any, other talent or shows out there that, maybe will be more like an aggregator and share, we're definitely going to share uh, with you books and films too, and other entertainment and other informative type of media that will be beneficial to you. So, and that would include, okay, perhaps you should listen to this person. This is something where they go deep into a particular matter. And so, but we're here to share information that will build you up. How's that?
To
In fact,
enhance knowledge. Like I love the fact that Maurice, it's a historian. He practiced law. He's a lawyer, very
hey,
knowledgeable. And I think that
tell
reviewing
me
the
more.
past history, that is incredible knowledge for us to move forward. So Maurice is going to be providing a lot of information. I also endorse all
Thank
of
you.
what he does. I admire you both. And I'm thankful, especially now that we're saying goodbye to this year. I'm thankful for both of you. And I think that what we're doing is excellent to assist people out there that are willing to move forward, that want to listen to us, want to learn. So so I encourage everybody to listen,
Thank you, Sandra.
and you're welcome.
Yes, and yes, thank you. And Sandra has a lot to offer. Again, she's gonna be doing more specialized podcasts and videos, as far
Good.
as some dealing with health, some dealing with the whole mind, body, and spirit, and
Definitely.
other things. and
Look forward to
and
that.
so we're gonna be more focused when we're in certain areas, and
Hmm.
not just to stand out, but to be more helpful to our viewers and listeners. out there. So we really encourage you to subscribe, please.
And in
And
some, we're going to do bilingual.
that's
So,
right. She's
Yeah,
going to do bilingual,
yeah.
and we're going to definitely do more interviews as well, and
Coming up.
wrapped in it's English and Spanish. And we have one coming up. We'll announce it shortly with a young man and his company. We'll mention it shortly. And it's going to be talking about the crypto space and NFTs. And see, we do that. Look, we talk about the whole person. Okay, so that's what we do. So if you want to get it, different parts of you, the finances, the money, the business. If you want to know how to start a business, we have this experience here. And I'm working on a series as far as a class on how to do a business, how to write a business plan. And Maurice will be working on if you want to take someone to small claims court or other things involving do it yourself, or how to dealing with legal matters. Not giving you advice. We're not giving you financial, legal, accounting, or medical advice. It's just sharing information, edutainment, as we call it, edutainment. About to say
Exactly.
educainment. Get it? Educainment,
Right. And
edutainment.
and one of the areas that I've been exploring is the area of marketing plans as a means by which to allow some of the business clients that I've picked up over the years to improve their own livelihoods. And we'll talk in future episodes about the 7 P's of a marketing plan.
Mhm.
And we'll give you a couple of them already, like pricing and performance, but there are others. And that you look at the persona, the buyer persona of whom you're targeting. It's not enough to just sell a particular product, service, commodity. You have to know who it is you're targeting.
Mhm.
And so that deals with particular demographics that might be age, sex, socioeconomic level, areas along those lines. And then integrating some of the observations you can obtain from popular culture and recommendations that I have presently for The Power of the Dog, which stars the inimitable Benedict Cumberbatch, which many of you may know as Doctor Strange, and Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons, who I always liked since the NBC TV version of Friday Night Lights, which was based upon the movie and the book about the football team of a high school in Odessa, Texas. And also Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, and a number of other notables about a killer comet heading its way to Earth. It's a work of fiction, just in case you didn't get it. But there's always something there about the superficiality of society, what it is we value, what it is that we dismiss, often to our own peril. And, we keep it light and we keep it lively, but we want to also bring in light, and we also want to bring in lucubration, which is knowledge and the study of the world around us. And that's not always easy. It's sometimes difficult. It could be taxing to mind, body, spirit, and soul, because to get you out of a comfortable area and into sometimes challenging horizons where you may have to reconsider some of your long cherished convictions, because quite often people think they're thinking and all they're doing is really just believing. And there's nothing wrong with belief, but it should be on a foundation of thought and
Definitely.
understanding what it is you're accepting as certain precepts of existence and the world, whether it's material or metaphysic, and questioning what it is you've observed, what you're being told, often by the powers that be in media and government and education.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes you have to know your limitations, but you shouldn't know or believe that your limitations are all you are, because you can expand those. Um, I mean, there's limits, because if you jump from an 18-story building, you may have
Mm-hmm.
faith you can fly, but I wouldn't advise you do it
Uh-huh.
unless you're attached to helium balloons or a jetpack. Go for it.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
So
so, so that's interesting. So we have a lot exciting things in store for you, and just give us a chance, and we're going to show you what Raising the Cane's about. So we're going to be covering a whole lot of different issues, and that you could take and move forward. And so uh, what I personally don't believe in New Year's resolutions, but let's bring that up. Let's we can you could say goals, dreams, however you want to call it. So Sandra, we'll start with you. You have any for any big things, small things, whatever it is for next year?
Well, one of the things that has been my dream is start doing more retire. I mean, now that I'm retired officially from the workplace, and
congratulations.
starting my more into my entrepreneurship. Um, I think that what I would like to do is get more involved in assisting people, like we were talking about a spiritual. I like to do more of more retreats. My goal is to be able to also get more into going into more into meditations, practice meditation more, and in addition to that, pass it on to others. One of the things that
Hello, Sandra dropped out. So Maurice, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, we'll keep it going until Sandra gets back in. Something happened, so she dropped out. But she's getting back in. So yeah, she's gonna be doing more of the more spiritual awareness, and more digging deep into your being, so you can discover who you really are, what you want to do. And that's why it's a lot of chaos and confusion that people have, is because you're sort of maybe lost your way, or perhaps your life. If you watch the Matrix movies, now they have Matrix Resurrection, where your life isn't really what it seems and what you want it to be. So we're here to help you help yourself, steer you in the right direction. We give our opinions, again, not medical advice, but you could we share who we are, that can help. You could have there's takeaways, when you listen to other people's experience and stuff like that. So Sandra was saying
Absolutely.
doing retreats. Some will be gender neutral, some will be for women only, etc. Let me get Sandra back in here. She dropped out. She's coming back in. And then we do coaching services too. So if you need a coach, we're here to coach, and we can work out.
Not Coach Bags.
Huh? Not Coach Bag. We're not talking about that. Yeah, but we're here coaching and do public speaking as well. If you want to hire us to do some public speaking, we're out there for you too. But here, Sandra has made it back, and so
That's right.
she dropped out, and
Back
now
from a commercial break.
she's back from her commercial break. So,
That's right.
Yes.
Sandra, you were saying about doing retreats and doing other
Yes,
stuff? Go ahead.
yes, definitely. So that is one of my dreams, is to continue to do that, learn more about herbalism, and to be able to help people. So you
Yeah.
will be seeing that. I'd like to also focus on the young generation, the youth, and especially couples. I would love to do a retreat for couples.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that there's a lot of miscommunication. We are not meeting in a spiritual level. So I would love to do that as well. And also to do trips to places like Mount Shasta, Sedona, where we can have groups of people join us and go into this spiritual path.
Oh, good.
Make other people aware. I love crystals, and I love the what they represent. I believe in, like, in everything that the creator, whoever you believe it is, that this presence that have created us and created all around us, the trees, that the earth, the earth, the fruit, all of that that nourish us. Also the crystals are part of that plan, to be able to give us those minerals, not only when we take them, but also the energy that produces. I believe in that everything is energy. And some, depending of the color, as you know, everything is frequency. So to study that, to make you aware that like the colors is frequency that we receive through through our eyes. And the same thing is the crystals, different colors provide certain energy in your body. I work with the crystal bowls and the sound bath. So I'm already, planning to do that more. And
They call that sound therapy. And so
right.
where vibrations, your
Sound therapy.
body, everything's made
Yes.
up of vibrations. So regardless
Mhm.
of your belief system, we're talking scientific stuff now where it's, everything's made up of vibrations and some energy. And so
Definitely.
it's a way you could use that as therapy to help yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes.
So
So that's what I planned for. And my goal is to continue to do the podcast, continue to provide information. Our goal also is to make sure that all of you that are out there that wishes a specific topic or any feedback, please make sure to uh, write us or comment on YouTube or in our emails, so
mhm,
that we can give you what you would like to hear.
mhm.
uh, that's what my goal is.
That sounds
Well,
great.
that sounds great. Well, thank you. One third of
Thank you.
Raising the Cane. Yeah, you heard it. And so we each have our element of what our talents lie and interests, but we do come together to share with you so you too can go in the direction you want to go. And I think we get stuck when you watch a lot of these channels and just read all these books. You can get lost in some kind of noise. Sometimes too much information can not be as helpful.
Hmm.
And so
Yes.
that's why our focus is you need to determine, no one can tell you what your dreams and your goals are but you. And now everyone can help you on how to get from point A to point B, and we can too. But our
Hmm.
goal is for you to walk whatever your path is, as long as it's constructive. Now we'll advise accordingly, not advise, but share accordingly that you know perhaps certain things may not be working out so great that you expect, and so give you a different take on it. There's no necessary right or wrong on that. It's just, because we all are different depending on the stage of life. When we were 10 years old, we were someone else. Let's take it down even further. When we were 1 year old, we were a certain person. When we became 5 years old, we weren't that 1 year old anymore. And then we
Mhm.
became 10, 15, 20, 30. And then you change, you learn, you grow. Some of
Yeah,
us
hopefully do.
learn and grow faster than others. Now because we're raising a Kane, I'm going to interject that some of you may be stuck from 10 years ago. Yeah, I said it. 20 years ago. You're still in that same place. Now, let's say now you want to get out of it. There's a way out. You do no self-condemnation. Can't do, you know what? We talk about history in the past only to help reflect on not to do certain things again or what to do. And so, but not to dwell on it when you make mistakes. Like Sandra said earlier, we all make mistakes. The point
Mhm.
is to do something about it now. And
Yeah.
so if you
Yeah.
feel stuck, like, I used to be stuck in a certain year, like probably 1997. Okay, then it's like,
Oh,
okay, get out of it. And the point is, it could have been some traumatic incident. It could have been something that you say, man, why did I make that decision? And you can't get over it. Well, the point is, listen to our broadcast, and we can help you move forward. So, hey, the promised land is over there, and we're gonna help you build a bridge. How's that?
Mhm.
Build a bridge to the promised land.
and what's important too is even in those realms that are not necessarily monetizable, but expand your awareness of your past and how it influences civilization you're living in.
Mhm.
In fact, I'm finishing up Colson Whitehead's book, The Underground Railroad, published in 2016. And it's a fascinating work of fiction, takes place in the antebellum South
Is that
and
Georgia?
Georgia.
Georgia,
And
Georgia,
he won the
antebellum.
Pulitzer Prize in
Yeah.
fiction for this novel, and it was the National Book Award winner and one of the 10 best books of 2016. I'm just getting around to it. Um, Started it a week or so ago when I was in Kings County in the town of Hanford, and something I recommend to you, and kind of gives you insights. His take on the Underground Railroad isn't just what Harriet Tubman and other courageous abolitionists did in the actual 19th century. His railroad is an actual subterranean system of transportation. So he does take some liberty with that, but the mission is one of enlightenment of the real horrors of chattel slavery, and not just the deprivation of not being able to wake up when you wanted to or having to live on a plantation, but the physical brutality, the torture, the separation of husbands and wives, of children being sold and resold, of rebellious men uh, having private parts removed and stuffed in their mouths and their bodies burned as their torturers delighted in their agony and suffering. And what does that tell us? I mean, I'm ambivalent sometimes about movies and TV shows that just ad nauseum tell you about slavery and nothing more. And this book by Colson Whitehead does more than that. And
Mm.
so even though I'm belatedly reading it, I wholeheartedly recommend it. And just segueing into resolutions, vows, promises, goals, objectives that I may have this year is to uh, be even more voracious in reading and to apply that to some of the nonprofits and charity uh, charitable organizations that I'm a part of, including a library support organization, which raises funds in different fashions through book sales, through dine-in programs, and uh, Kids of Palooza for the YA and children's book crowd, and uh, and other ventures. Um, And in fact, the library that I'm most involved with is built by Carnegie.
Mm.
And he is probably a person who is extremely well known, but not fully appreciated for his contributions to architecture, library, and a cross-cultural understanding.
Yeah, he gave
Uh,
to interject, he gave away a lot of his money for education, for libraries and other institutions. He was the richest person on earth, and he gave away most of his fortune. Uh,
exactly.
and
Wow.
in fact, J.P. Morgan, I remember in seeing on a documentary that included, it was, the focus was J.P. Morgan, when he even scoffed at why Andrew Carnegie didn't have more money, saying he's, uh, he's not really rich. Well, he gave away a lot of his money.
He was a true
Wow.
philanthropist.
Yeah, he's a true one. You know, you're not going to take it with you, billionaires and millionaires and rich folks and well-to-do.
No,
So, not that you should you should be obligated to give all your money away for causes either, but I would say that, if you can make a meaningful dent into pain and suffering and to enlighten the world,
Mm-hmm.
you have the resources to do it.
yeah,
Why wouldn't you? Why,
yeah.
Right.
not why should you, but why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and something, and the key is to that, it should be voluntary, because sometimes you hear in the halls of Congress or the White House or state capitals and city councils and in activist circles this notion that capitalism is craven and corrupt, that plutocrats should be ashamed of their success, and they should be either guilt tripped or coerced or taxed into submission. It's got to be willing, and there's no shame
Voluntary. Mm-hmm.
in voluntary. Exactly. There's no shame in developing a product or a company or business that people enjoy. And I'm talking about somebody I'm not on the same plane with politically, but Jeff Bezos, who started off in his garage with an online bookstore, who
Mm-hmm.
turned it into this global conglomerate, which sells nearly any type of apparel,
Product.
food,
Yes.
or other product. And they're competitors,
Mm-hmm.
but he's basically the gold star. And he even has that other company, Blue Origin, that's lifting people into at least the outer reaches of our atmosphere and approaching near space, along with Elon Musk and Richard Branson, people like that with SpaceX and Virgin Galactic. And that's really the path that will get us, mark my words, and this may not necessarily happen in 2022, but well
Mm-hmm.
within the lifetimes of many listeners, colonies on the moon and Mars, because Homo sapiens was not meant to be a one planet species. That our solar system and beyond, uh, and that includes generation ships, was meant to colonize other celestial objects. And I don't think you hear as many naysayers as you might have, but I think that you look at the time from the hot air balloons in 19th century Paris to the Wright brothers, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, to NASA and JFK's promise to have men walk on the moon within a decade of his speech, and he achieved that.
Mm.
Um, it was tragically 6 years after he was assassinated, but it happened. And I think that with our world and with Raising the Cane, there really isn't any area within a library, bookstore, database, the World Wide Web, or your imagination that is not subject to our covering it at some point, whether in the early part of 2022 or beyond, because life and reality are the palette upon which we paint our portraits,
Mhm.
not only of the present, not only of the future, but a tapestry, a mosaic, a Sistine Chapel, if you will, of the mind and turned into material. And the ultimate mind over matter is applying your creativity to various realms. And they don't necessarily have to be profitable. I mean, I think if you look at the arts, you look at
Mhm.
people like Vincent van Gogh, Grandma Moses, what they didn't necessarily enrich them, but they enriched their culture. And so you can have a lasting impact even if you aren't capable of buying a mansion next door to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, that's good points. You made excellent points. And so, um, uh, we're going to, explore a lot of the topics Maurice mentioned, and actually, what you've been doing intermittently is a did you know? So
There you go.
very interesting. So we're gonna do more of those. We took a hiatus from those, but we're gonna do them in this format. And where Maurice just goes up and did you know something. And so uh and then Sandra has her thing she's going to be focused on, English and Espanol. And so
See,
and I'm going to be giving you some more focus on financial, getting your financial house in order. How's that?
that
Getting your
sounds great.
financial house in order. And it's going to be dealing with investments of all types, stocks, real estate, crypto, and the different asset classes and how that relates to uh, things you could be doing to increase your net worth, your wealth quotient, and emotional intelligence,
Mhm.
but financial intelligence. And
Yeah.
so just another avenue. So you can have the total picture, that from head, top of your crown, right, to
Mm.
the
Yeah.
to
There you go.
to the soles of your feet, to have that total picture. So mind, body, spirit. Okay.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
any rate, so any lighthearted New Year's resolution. So in a couple days you can say, I want to lose weight, I want to gain weight, or Maurice, you want to grow some hair.
Well, yeah, I want it to be as luscious as yours.
Okay. Because I've taken a lot of time on this. I
It's
take it,
it's shiny. I blinded.
we, you know, so so so
It's
so
shiny.
that's a good comeback. So
Make
luscious
a
is
wish.
mud, luscious is
Hey,
mud.
Michael, make a wish.
Yours
Make a
looks more like an egg, though. Yeah, you look like just waiting to crack it. So anyway,
That's
so,
where I am. Too.
so yeah. So
You
anyway,
know, one of the ideas I had, and it's kind of based
mm,
upon the attack squirrel from North Wales. This is a shout out to all of our Welsh brothers out there. Is I want to develop an army of attack squirrels. We can breed them, of course, because some squirrels are naturally aggressive. Ask the 18 people that were attacked in North Wales. And what we want to do is create, an army of attack squirrels and drop them behind enemy lines in North Korea. And
okay.
and I think we can bring democracy to the People's Republic of Korea through killer squirrels armed with capitalism.
Okay, you heard it here. Maury said it first. So
That's right. That's where the empire
killer
begins.
killer squirrels in
Yeah,
North
and it could
Korea.
be, gerbils and
So
hamsters.
I guess we're not going to have listeners in Korea now, North Korea.
North Korea.
Yeah. So
We're
anyway,
fans of South Korea because
okay.
they're like decent.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. South Korea's good. So let's stop it at that.
And
So,
Koreatown in Los Angeles.
okay. Yeah, thank you. I need a mute button here. Oh, actually, I do actually. Right here. God damn, I forgot. You know what? Sometimes you have power, you don't exercise it. I actually could just push a button and it
said,
goes
oops.
it goes away. And in fact,
power to grow hair.
in fact, video I could do too. Wow. But anyway, actually I'm developing the power to grow hair.
Oh, good. I'm not talking about your nostrils and ears. I'm talking about on top.
Okay.
That's what counts. It's like
You guys.
Well, look how long my nose hair is.
Yeah.
Look, I'm pulling it out.
And all this time I thought you were using your hair ear.
Oh, see.
So you just enlightened me now. You just rock my world. I thought it was ear hair.
Man, just to have that visual.
Corrective lenses. See, I go to Lens Crafter. See.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I did fail my DNA studies about the difference between hair and nose hair. So anyway, okay. But anyway, that's it. We're getting close to wrapping it up, but let's close it out by saying any parting words. Give you 60 seconds. Marius, that really means 60 seconds. Okay, 120 for you.
120 seconds. I just want to give a posthumous birthday shout out to the late great Stan Lee, whose birthday was December 28th. May he rest in the Wakanda, Asgard, Olympus, and Titan up there in the hereafter. And another shout out to Bacon Day. Okay.
Is that it? Okay. Like bacon and okay. Thought it was a hamburger.
Oh,
that was abrupt.
One more thing.
Okay.
It was only a few weeks ago where devastating tornadoes ravaged 6 of our states here in the USA, killing at least 92 people, which is what it was reported on NPR recently. I don't know how you say at least 92, don't you know by now? But rest in peace to all of those individuals out there who lost their lives and livelihoods in the case of survivors. And one of the more devastating recurrent natural disasters, which strikes the southern and Midwestern states in our proud, precious republic. And that's something that resonates because it's so close to one of the holiest seasons of the year, Christmas, and where people should be thinking about feasting, family, fellowship, and football. They're confronted with funerals and the mourning that doesn't really go away. And so I just want to extend to those individuals, both living and departed, either paradise or rebuilding. And that's why what we do here, whether we're talking amongst ourselves, enjoying each other as brothers and sister-in-law and so on, is so important because who knows what we're confronted with tomorrow, and what anybody out there, whether you're following us or whether you're just living your own life yourself, is that every moment really is not something you can necessarily count on. So,
Mhm.
with that, a farewell to 2021 and a happy new year to all the folks out there from Armenia to Zimbabwe, from Ukraine to Liechtenstein, from the Korean Peninsula to Tierra del Fuego, from Bangkok to Boston, to all points north, south, east, west. Uh, be kind to each other. Remember to keep sight of the lighter part of life and
Mhm.
never give up. Keep on trucking.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
That was good. Sandra,
Yes.
party
I
words?
I want to echo Maurice's statement. This year, I lost two. I lost people that I love that I in my family. So I do feel for all of you that are out there, especially like Maurice said, and during this time of year on Christmas. I gotta believe that some souls decide to depart from this world in a time where people and children are happy. That vibration of light that goes out. I imagine the openings of those doors in heaven, if you would like to see it vividly, that they're able to live in peace and in a energy of love, compassion, because of giving. So I send that energy to all of those souls that departed, that gave their all in earth, and to all of you that are hurting, to know that that they left, a stamp in your heart, and into this world, the vibration will still be here, and yeah, to make you think about all the good so you can move forward. We all
Yes.
are going to that. We're travelers here on earth. So one day of another in the future, or you never know when, we will also do that journey. So the important thing is to embrace every day, love unconditionally, uh, be joyful in every challenge that come your way, tackle it and move on. Don't hesitate on leaving those negative thoughts behind. People that throw you negative, just discard it. I mean, they're
Yeah.
not worth your energy, not even to remember. So just move forward. Everyone, like I said before, everybody is not perfect. So we have to just enjoy being who you are, embrace yourself, give time to yourself. That's something very important. We need to find balance. And by that, we need to give ourselves uh, time to be in solitude and to analyze and think and to listen to your heart. Um,
Mhm.
listen to what your goals are and your soul, so that you can move forward to achieve what you need to achieve. Thank you all, because you are important. No one is like you, therefore you are special. So we have to always remember that.
Amen.
So
Yeah.
I just want to thank this year, because we're alive, we're healthy. I want to embrace all of you. We all together, we will do a better world. So we have to start by us. Okay.
Exactly. That's
And
what
Well,
it starts.
thank you, Sandra and Maurice. And I don't know what more I can say. They pretty much said it, everything I was thinking, said very eloquently. But I do want to say that it, it's only one you,
mhm,
and and God didn't make mistakes. Okay, He
Yeah.
made you. Yeah, I use the three-letter words, whatever you
Oh,
believe. And I don't believe we just popped here by accident. I'm not one of those. I believe that it was a it was a decision and a
yeah.
creative decision to bring us here. And while we're here, we want to do the best we can. And one day maybe we'll give our testimonies, but I know my life hasn't been a linear path where it just I was born and voila, I just everything was just happy and go lucky. Just didn't. Unfortunately, life doesn't always happen that way to most of us.
That's
I
right.
imagine some of us, yes, but most of us, we have to scratch, crawl, and drag ourselves to get where we are, and pray, hope, and bust our butts to make things happen. And so, just it's good to have heroes in our lives, and look up to people, have role models, and that's nice. But don't I also want to caution you, don't put people so high on a pedestal either, where you saying, well, I can never be this person, I can never do that. You're right, you will never be that person, because you need to be you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't need to be. I won't list the names of celebrities and sports figures and other well-renowned people. Yeah, you're right, you will never be them. And you weren't designed to be them, you were designed to be you. You were
Exactly.
designed to be you. So be the best you, the best, what they say, the best version of yourself possible.
That's
And
right.
that doesn't
Wow.
mean you have to imitate or emulate people who you think are successful.
Mhm.
And be careful who you compare yourself to and who you pray to be, because you may not know the full story.
I
And
mean, it's
if
just imitating Christ.
you ever watched Twilight Zones or Outer Limits, if you didn't, go on Netflix or go rent one, and you'll see where you want to be somebody, and you realize what they really were and what they're really feeling or going through.
Exactly.
So you want to be you, and so Raising the Cane, we're going to help you to achieve that. And we're works in progress ourselves, by the way.
Yay.
Exactly.
And this
Yes.
2021 was a great year. It's a good year. We're still alive, breathing, and a lot of good things happen. A lot of bad, not so good things happen either. But it's how you deal with stuff and how you move forward, and conquering the giants. And you have to conquer those giants. Yes, there are giants. There's a road, a pathway. Every movie, every TV show has this road, and you have people there in place to help you. They're mentors, coaches, you can call them what you want, besties. And there's people that are there to block you,
Yeah.
to stop your way, say you're not going any further, you're going to stop right here. Pretty much like they did minorities, blacks and others, in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and even to this day, because of the color of your skin, because of your thoughts, because of who you are. Yeah, you're not invited to the party, our party. And so uh, look at all the achievements of people despite that. Even our own father had to go through, and grandfathers and family members and us. And you know what? It's sad. You have to fight, and you may have to fight for $5, 30 cents, or 30 seconds, but you have victory in you, victory against
Yeah.
the enemy. And
No, and I think that one important thing is that know who you are, believe in you, because they can tell you that you're not whatever,
mhm,
but
Yeah.
is as long as you know who you are, and when you look in the mirror in the morning and you see yourself, you have to be your best admirer of yourself, and
Yeah.
tell yourself how valuable you are, because nobody else can tell you differently.
That's
So
right.
even if they tell you, so know who you are, make sure to understand that you are, like Michael said, you are unique, you're a miracle on your own, and remove negative thoughts, because they're always the first thing that that comes into our minds is ourself, those thoughts. So just know, remove them. It's hard, we all go through it, we have ups and downs, but the thing is, get up and move forward.
Amen.
That's right. And so here's a thought. Just think about this. When the goals ahead of you, and you can say goals, dreams, resolutions, whatever you want to call it, destination, your proposed achievement is greater than the fear behind you. That what's that saying is, put that fear, move forward despite the fear. You won't necessarily get rid of fear 100%. I don't think it's possible in every category, in every instance. Perhaps it is, but don't wait for that fear to subside, because courage is not the absence of fear. What do you say? I'm saying it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's despite the fear that you overcame it, that you went on stage. And I'm talking figurative speaking. I'd like to use examples of entertainment. Like, you get on that stage and sing. Get on that stage. Do it. Despite shaking in your boots. Whatever it is you do, just do it. There will be no shortage of people telling you you can't do something. No shortage of people will tell you stand in line. It'll be a short line of people telling you you can, and you will, you must, and believe in you. That line, unfortunately, is very short. A lot of people, oh, you can't do this. The Lost Boys, Peter Pan. I have it in one of my presentations where he doesn't want to grow up. You heard the story of Peter Pan. They don't want to grow up. The Lost Boys, they don't want to grow up, because when you grow up, your dreams die. Your soul dies. So he wants to stay a boy. Think about when you were a little child, most of us, where we didn't know all this other stuff's going on in the world. We were just content in our little world. That was it. Our little world. We didn't know we didn't have stuff until someone told us we didn't have it. And we experienced stuff. And so we need to get that little boy, that little girl back, that little 4, 3, 2, 6-year-old back, to help us now, whatever age we are now. We need to get that person back, that energy of that child.
Exactly.
Right? We have to get that energy back. And we're going to help you with that. Sandra's going to really help you with her healing and all this stuff she's going to go through. We'll help you with our coaching in our broadcast here, or one-on-one, however we do it, retreats or whatever, book coming out next year. And so, you know what? Just believe in yourself and invest in yourself. Notice, just don't stop with believing yourself, but you need to actually invest your time, energy, and whatever resources you have. So go to the library. If you can't buy books, Amazon is good. Not to plug them, but I just did, I guess. And Barnes and Noble still out there, one of the last major bookstores that's left. So, but that said, we wish you at Raising the Cane a very, very happy New Year.
New Year's.
That's right. And the Christmas season is continuing. This is the 6th day of Christmas. Okay. And before we farewell, just want to acknowledge the recent passing of legendary Pro Football Hall of Fame coach and one who led the then Oakland Raiders to Super Bowl 11 and victory, John Madden, who was one of the winningest head coaches in the history of professional sports, but specifically football and the NFL, and whose name was given to the decades-old Madden video games, and who, after his retirement from the Raiders, became possibly the best broadcaster this side of Chick Hearn or Vince Scully.
Mm-hmm.
So want to acknowledge John Madden.
Okay.
And it was a time when his success was not guaranteed. He had played professionally for the Philadelphia Eagles, but a man who was larger than his own uh, impressing frame.
Okay.
So we acknowledge
That's
him.
that's it. It's we thank you for that. And yeah, I used to watch John Madden coach when we were younger. So condolences to his family. So thank you for sharing that. And so, but we want to wish you a happy new year.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Happy
So
2022.
happy 2022. And that's it. And raising the cane. See you next year.
Hasta luego. Adiós. Bye bye.
Bye
See you
bye.
later.